All right, everyone, we are going to be starting off in a sitting position here, making sure our legs are nice and comfortable, our sits bones are grounded equally onto our mats. We're gonna start with hands just resting on the knees. You can close your eyes if you want to. We're gonna take a few deep breaths, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Thinking about expanding your rib cage in a 360 way, all the way front, sides, and back of the body. Last deep breath here. Just letting go of anything else you might be thinking about and really focusing on this time we have together. You can blink open your eyes. We're gonna start with a nice long stretch. So one hand's gonna meet your mat, the other arm's gonna reach up and over as much as feels comfortable. And then we're gonna circle that top arm around. Exhaling at the bottom of this circle. Hold that arm back up towards the ceiling. We're gonna do just a little rotation here. So rotate your chest down a few inches. Inhale, open your chest as much as you can. Exhale down. Inhale up. Last one. Keeping that shoulder down, away from your ear, switching sides. Other hand meets the mat, big up and over. Opening those ribs. Our ribs might be feeling a little bit squished for space recently. Big circle through the arm. Exhaling at the bottom. And hold up and over. From here, once again, exhale, rotate that chest down a few inches, just looking towards your mat. Inhale, maybe looking up towards the ceiling. Again, moving to a range that feels comfortable for you and your body. Last one, exhale. Perfect. Coming back to the top, we're gonna come into a little butterfly. So soles of the feet together, widening those hips, sitting up nice and tall, maybe folding forward here. Option to do a little swaying side to side. If it feels good, you can also push one knee gently down towards the mat. Maybe doing that to the other side. You might need to adjust what angle your feet are at. So it might feel better if your feet are further away from your body. It might feel better if your feet are pulled in closer to you. Just play around with that. From here, we're gonna take a little bit of a hip rotation, stretch and mobility. This is going to be pretty much a staple throughout the whole program. Arms are gonna come back behind us. We're gonna take one leg so that knee is touching opposite foot and our knees are both bent at about 90 degrees. And then we're gonna switch it to the other side. We should feel a nice, gentle stretch in the hips. If this feels bad for any reason, feel free to reach out, see what we can modify. You might also need to change the angle of your hips or your trunk. From here, we're gonna come into a little bit of a figure 4 stretch. This can be something that you do on your back if it feels comfortable. Also, seated in a chair is a great option as well. But while we're here, we're gonna cross an ankle over the knee and then just, again, rock gently from side to side, doing what feels best. Switch to the other side, opposite ankle over knee, and a little rocking. This position hopefully gives us plenty of room for our bellies. But if not, you can always walk your hands further back or your foot further away. All right, from here, we're gonna roll over our feet and onto our hands and knees, which is gonna be a position that we'll find ourselves in quite a bit throughout this program. So one thing we want to think about when we're on our hands and knees is for our knees to be directly underneath the hips and our hands directly underneath the shoulders. Our back should be nice and flat with our head in line with the rest of our spine. So we don't want to see our head drooping down like this or sticking up like a turtle. We want to have our eyes and our face looking directly in between our hands with fingers spread wide. We're going to start with just some breathing here. We're going to do some core engagement in this hands and knees position. So if you want, we're going to first come into a few cat-cows just to make sure we have found our neutral spine. So going from a little bit of a rounded or cat position, and then arching the back, looking forward, coming into our cow. Really letting the belly go here. We're not engaging it quite yet. Just let it fully relax. Inhale as you look forward. Exhale as you round and tuck the tailbone. On this next one, meet me here in a flat back. So find what feels neutral. If you're in front of a mirror, even better, so that you can see that nice long straight line all the way from tailbone through the top of your head. From here, we're going to keep the spine completely still and just focus here on the belly. We're going to exhale and draw your belly, hugging baby up and in. Inhale, relax, and let everything go. Exhale, think about again, 360, kind of pulling up and in. Inhale, relax everything down. Last one. On this exhale, hold that activation of the core. Breathing here normally, not a deep breath, but just holding here. We're going to start some hip cars, we call them. So with our core still engaged, we're going to take one leg and keeping the knee bent at 90 degrees, we're going to take it up towards the ceiling, around to the side, and back down. Same thing, couple more, and then we'll switch directions. This is just warming up that hip joint. And then it's going to swing out to the side first, around and down. Last one. Switch sides. Again, recheck that the core is engaged. We should also be feeling a little bit of work in the hips as we do that one as well. And you might see me occasionally go onto my wrists during the program. That's because fists are a little bit more comfortable for me than my flat hands because of some wrist pain. So you're welcome to do that as well if you need to. Other side, we're going to go back first, out to the side and down. couple in each direction. And switch sides of the circle, so out to the side first, back and down. You'll notice that my back really isn't changing shapes. I'm not coming into a big arch at all, staying as flat as possible. Perfect. From here, coming back, taking a little break in child's pose, widening the knees, and then letting the belly rest in between. You can rest your forehead down. If this doesn't feel good, you can come up into a little bit more of a puppy dog stretch. You can rock from side to side if that feels good. Coming back onto hands and knees, we've got a couple more exercises here in this position. The first one's going to be a little bit of a hover of the knees. So a little bit more advanced, and then again, we'll regress this exercise as well. So we're going to tuck the toes under, engage the core, hug baby up and in, and then all we're going to do is with a nice broad upper back, head nice and neutral, we're going to just lift both knees up about an inch off of our mats as we exhale. And lower back down. Again, exhale, lift belly, lift knees. And lower. Last one. Hold here, little in and out with the knees. Little butterfly, both knees out, both knees in. Last two, one, lower, down. Perfect. Roll out those wrists if you need to. Shake them out. From here, we're going to do a quick little exercise of our arms, and then we'll move on to bird dog, which is a classic. So for this little exercise of the arms, we have a couple options here. You can either stay in kind of hands and knees position and just bending the arms with elbows tucked in nice and narrow. Another option is to keep arms wide as you lower the chest, lower the head. If you want to come more into a modified push-up, you can certainly do that as well. Maybe walking the hands forward, tucking the tailbone. You can absolutely come into a little push-up there. So take your pick based on whatever feels best for your body. We're just gonna do 5 reps here. I'm gonna go elbows wide, but hips staying a little bit more at 90 degrees. So here we go. Inhale as you lower, exhale as you press the ground away. Perfect, just 2 more. Last one. Awesome job. Again, if you need to shake the wrists out, you can. Otherwise, we are going to come into bird dog. This is going to be reaching opposite arm and opposite leg away. We'll add a couple challenges here in these earlier weeks. So back onto hands and knees. With our bird dog, we want to remember that this is for our core. So engaging the core, hugging baby up and in towards your spine, wrapping 360. We're going to reach opposite arm and leg long along your mat first. Then we're going to hover hand and toes up. Hold here for a couple seconds. And then back to the mat, slide it down. Again, switch sides, hand and leg reaching long, then hover. The position of my spine does not change. Hold for a few seconds. Lower and down. On this next one, let's add a challenge. So we're gonna slide away. We're gonna hover up. From here, arm and leg are going to slide wide to the outside. So along the outsides of your mat, back to midline, down and in. Again, slide wide, hover up, not up towards the ceiling, just out and long. Then start to slide wide to the side, in and down. Another option for a challenge here with this bird dog is to be elbow and knee towards the center of the body. So we're gonna reach long, hover, exhale, elbow and opposite knee curl, reach back long and down. You don't have to literally touch elbow to knee, but you're just bringing it in towards the center of the body as best you can. Let's do one more of those on each side. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, close. Inhale, reach. And last one. Perfect. From here, we're just gonna do a little bit of a sit back in a couple different positions. So swing your feet wide to the outsides of your mat and just start to shift backwards. And then bring feet back, shift back. A couple more like this just to further open up the hips. Awesome. We're going to make our way down onto our sides. You can have a few options here. Head can be resting in your hand, or if it's more comfortable, head can rest in your arm. Top arm is going to go to the top of the hip. We're going to do a very quick but hard side lying series. Core is going to engage here. This is part of our side lying series. So lift belly button, lift baby up towards your spine, and then extend that top leg nice and long. With a straight leg, we're just gonna swing and kick that leg forward and a little squeeze backwards. Inhale forward, exhale back. Everything above the waist is frozen. So that's where the core comes in. On this next one, we're gonna hold here. We're gonna turn toes up and heel down. We're gonna bend and press long. Bend in, press long. On this next one of my favorites, which is called grasshopper, we're gonna keep that top knee bent. Just the hip is gonna hinge till that top heel meets the bottom. Hinge it back up. We should feel all the work here in the side of the hip, glute med to be specific. On this last one, hold up here. We're gonna do a little alligator, open and close. So just open down and up vertically, knee bent at 90. Last two. And one for our last exercise of this series. This one, again, another tough one. It's gonna be a rond de jambe kick. So straight leg is gonna swing forward, up, around, and down. That leg should be on fire. And reverse directions, up to the top, forward, and down. Relax that top leg. You are all set with this side. We're gonna switch over to the other side. So take a nice little 180, swinging our legs over nice and carefully to carefully come down onto our other side to repeat that. So once again, head is relaxed, belly is lifted, and we're going to keep the bottom leg relaxed while the top leg reaches out long, engaging the core. Inhale, kick to the front. Exhale, kick to the back. The back is more of a squeeze, and that's to make sure that we're not opening the chest and letting everything dump forward. We want to keep everything connected here, including the rib cage to the pelvis via the core. So inhale forward, exhale back. On this next one, hold here, turn toes up, heel down. We're gonna bend and press long. It doesn't matter if your toes are pointed or flexed, whatever feels comfortable. In this position though, make sure that that top hip hasn't rolled back. We're not opened up towards the ceiling. We still have our hips stacked, one on top of the other. On this last one, hold here, coming in for our grasshoppers. Hinge that hip down, hinge it back up. So knee does not bend or straighten here. Should be, again, feeling work right here. On this next one, hold here, little alligator lifts up and down. That knee is straight out in front of you with your ankle right underneath the knee. Last one. And we're gonna reach that leg nice and long again, ending with those big circle kicks. Leg stays straight as you sweep forward, up and around. And reverse directions. Awesome. Rest everything down. Awesome job. Again, feeling all of the work here, not so much down the leg. And that is really one of our target muscles to keep our hips nice and strong as we finish in this third trimester. We're gonna slowly make our way back to a seated position, crisscrossing the legs again. We're going to just settle back into our mats. From here, if you can, maybe chest towards one knee. Chest towards the other knee. Sitting up tall, we're gonna inhale and bring both arms up overhead. Exhale, both arms down. Again, inhale, up and over. Exhale, down. One of my favorite ways to end the class is we're gonna inhale and squeeze every muscle that we possibly can, including our shoulders, our eyes, our face, our hands, our toes, all that tension up and in, and then exhale, shake it out and relax it down. One more like that. Inhale, everything up and in as much as you can, getting as tight as you can, and then shaking it out and just letting it go. Awesome job. I will see you next week. And don't forget, try to do this video a few times during this week if possible. All right, you guys are doing great. Have a good week.